According to a royal author, Meghan Markle's book would undoubtedly become a bestseller, like instantly right away. Since the release of Prince Harry's memoir, Spare, in January 2023, Meghan has remained very tight-lipped, leading many royal experts to speculate that she is working on her own book as we speak. And they have good reason for this, especially considering the success of Prince Harry's book.
I've heard a lot about it on social media. There's been a lot of, it seems very dramatic, and there's a lot of tea, as I'd like to say.
Even though many people disagreed with what was said in the book, well, it's still sold. People still bought it, which generated millions of dollars in revenue. And that's definitely something that Meghan and Harry need right now. They need sources of income coming in. Royal author Christopher Anderson believes that the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, will capitalize on her current position, especially considering the criticism the royal couple is facing right now. He shared with Us Weekly publication his insights, and this is what he had to say. We've seen her perspective with some examples, but I'm sure there's always another rabbit to pull out of the hat. Some fact that we didn't know to put into a book. I'm sure if she wanted to write a book, it would be an enormous bestseller because once again, it would contain things we don't know yet. Christopher Anderson predicts that this might not be too far away, and this is what he added to his statements. I would imagine that is probably not in the distant future. I think they're going to take advantage of where they are, and she will do something like that. Also, Meghan Markle, she has taken a significant step towards reviving her passion project, which is her blog called The Tig, which she abandoned when she joined the royal family. And after closing it down during her relationship with Prince Harry back in 2017, Meghan Markle now plans to relaunch her blog. So even if Meghan Markle decides to not release a traditional book, she definitely will be writing something, that's for sure. And when we look at her recent signing with the renowned talent agency William Morris Endeavor, this suggests that Meghan is actively cultivating her personal brand. And this is according to Us Weekly's royal commentator, Christine Ross. This is what Christine Ross had to say in her own words about this. This just rings to me that the Tig is on its way back. This sort of representation helps facilitate brand deals. This is definitely a huge step forward in Meghan's brand. This is definitely Meghan creating herself as a brand. I suspect that the Tig is on its way back to our internet screens. After that, Tina Brown's co-host Christina Garibaldi chimed in by saying this: the Tig, probably book deals, we'll probably see a lot going on with Meghan in the next few months, maybe years. Then, according to some reports, they say that the royal family is very careful that they do not have a repeat of Prince Harry's release of his book Spare that he released in January 2023. Like in the memoir, Harry shared some insights about life within the royal family after he met Meghan and after he stepped down, all of that stuff. And author Christopher Anderson, he suggests that the royal family is particularly focused on observing Prince George's relationship with his younger siblings, Princess Charlotte and Princess Louis. These, by the way, are children of Prince William and Kate Middleton. And this is what Christopher Anderson had to say about this. The royal family does not want another kid writing a book, another edition of Spare. Obviously, Harry was very hurt by being in the shadow of his brother. I think they're aware of that. Meghan Markle is said to be preparing to publish her own book, which is expected to expose all of Prince Harry's areas of weakness. So it's said that Meghan Markle is preparing to disclose some details about her husband, Prince Harry, all his shortcomings in various parts of her autobiography.
It's about being authentic. And if you look back at anything that I've said, it's really interesting.
Now, it's believed that Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is actively in the process of writing said book, similar to Prince Harry's book, which generated considerable controversy around the world.
What it looks like is the hype and the sensationalism behind the book is dying down. Now, we obviously understand why the book became a bestseller. This was completely out of the ordinary.
But it also generated millions of dollars in sales. So this is definitely something that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry and Meghan, definitely would need. It probably would earn millions of dollars as well. Following their departure as senior working royals in 2020, the couple relocated to the United States, and they now reside in California with their 2 children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. Anticipated to be candid and just very open and straightforward and blunt, Meghan's account of her life is expected to encompass surprising and secret revelations from her marriage. So not just specifically about her husband, Harry, other aspects as well, maybe inside thoughts that she has. Like, I could only imagine there must be so much information that Meghan has to share and wants to share, because for months she has been very silent regarding what she's been doing.
And so did so many other people whose names we know and whose names we do not know.
Nor has she really shared any of her inner thoughts recently or her views about anything. But it definitely is pretty surprising that she is going to be sharing details about Prince Harry and his character flaws and failings. But Harry already revealed some of those already publicly. So what else could Meghan be sharing about Harry? And how private and honest and open is she gonna get in this book? Harry already hinted that he did have some shortcomings himself in his memoir, Spare.
In the book, there's a lot of accusation of the palace and particularly William and Kate's attitude to Meghan.
As well as their Netflix docuseries, expressing remorse for how Meghan was treated during their time in the UK and wishing that he could have done more to support her and reassure her. Now, Prince Harry said this specifically in their Netflix documentary. "I was devastated. I knew that she was struggling. We were both struggling, but I never thought it would get to that stage. And the fact that it got to that stage, I felt angry and ashamed."
It's about hatred. It's about race.
It's a dirty game.
And then Prince Harry, he added this: "I didn't deal with it particularly well. I dealt with it as institutional Harry as opposed to husband Harry. And what took over my feelings was my royal role. I've been trained to worry more about what are people gonna think if we don't go to this event. We're gonna be late, and looking back on it now, I hate myself for it." There was also this one source that told Bella magazine that Meghan is of the opinion that the moment has arrived to share her perspective with the wider public. Interesting. And this is what the source said specifically about this. Meghan really wants to get her side of the story across after Harry got the space to tell his story so deeply. There have been times that Harry has been less than perfect in the marriage, which he acknowledges, but no one is perfect. So again, it just makes me kind of question, how open and honest is she gonna get in this book? What details is she gonna reveal? And this is definitely something that I know will sell globally, all over the world. It will earn millions of dollars because I think people just want to know. People are that curious. Even if they're not fans of Meghan Markle, they're still gonna buy the book because they bought Prince Harry's book, Spare. We all know how obsessed Meghan Markle is with Princess Diana. She views herself pretty much like a Princess Diana 2.0.
One of the people that I reached out to who's continued to be a friend and confidant was one of my husband's mom's best friends, one of Diana's best friends.
And just like Diana did with her authorized biography, Diana, Her True Story in her own words, Meghan could kickstart her own authorized tell-all biography as well. The book might delve into her life as an actress, her transition into royal life, and the various challenges with the royals, as well as with the media and the public at large.
Suffering and feeling trapped, Meghan revealed she surrendered a lot of freedom when joining the firm.
In mid-2023, there were some hints that Meghan might be putting her thoughts on paper as part of her and Prince Harry's 4-book deal with Penguin Random House. And the fact that they have a 4-book deal, it's like, okay, well, Meghan's book it's inevitably coming. Meghan has already authored a children's book titled Bench, and that was released in June of 2021, while Prince Harry released his own book titled Spare, and that was more like a memoir, a biography that shared some insights on his life as well as the royal family.
Prince Harry's tell-all memoir Spare
hits shelves on January 10th.
And there's some speculation now that the couple is collaborating on a wellness book, and Meghan's autobiography is anticipated to be the final piece in their 4-book deal. There's a Hollywood agent who shared this with the Mail publication, and this is what they had to say. "I would find it surprising if Meghan didn't publish her own story, to be honest." And they also went on to add, "Spare is clearly Prince Harry's chance to tell his, but hers is equally compelling. I mean, how many actresses end up marrying a prince? If she's harboring political ambitions, it would make even more sense." PR expert Matt Yanofsky, he has pointed out that the success of Britney Spears' memoir, The Woman in Me, is an example of how well Meghan's book could possibly perform. And in a statement, he said, "Britney's book just sold gangbusters without Britney doing any press. There's likely a big market for another female celebrity's memoir if Meghan will spill the beans. Is she going to reveal who was the royal racist? Is she going to divulge real information? That's what it will take for the book to work. Meghan, of course, thinks she's a fancy celebrity, not the glorified reality star that she is. Just as she did a documentary instead of a reality show, it's possible she will copy Princess Diana and work with an authorized biographer, as Diana sat down for interviews in the 90s for a book." He then wraps up his statement with this line, "There are many options to make money selling out the royals when your name is Meghan." And honestly, when I take a look at the past few years, I feel like this is very likely to happen. Regardless if people dislike the book or not, Meghan Markle is gonna make millions from the book. People will buy it, whether to read it and love it or to criticize it. They're gonna buy it, it's gonna make millions. And they definitely don't want to get dropped from their Penguin Random House deal, so they're going to want to produce. You know, they got dropped from their podcast, so it's like, okay, the pressure's on, we got to produce. We got 4 books to do, let's go. And another thing too, Meghan even said in her and Harry's docuseries on Netflix that she's glad that they could finally tell their story from their own perspective. And then, of course, Harry followed up with his book Spare and told more of the story from his own personal perspective. And this wasn't a shared perspective that he had with Meghan as in their docuseries. So it seems like a logical conclusion that Meghan may also have other things to say, which I'm sure she does, from her own perspective. And what better way to do that than put it in a book, especially if you have a deal on the table to do so.